Making money is an exponential thing. The first million can be really difficult, but after that, the second, third, fourth million is going to come much easier. In today's video, I'm going to tell you why it's hard to make the first million, and at the end of the video, I'm going to give you some tips to help you make your first million. There's 11 million millionaires in the United States right now. To be considered a millionaire, you would have to have $1 million or more in assets. This would include your house, your cars, just whatever you have, and then minus your debt, that number would still need to be over $1 million in net assets. The current population of the United States is 330 million about, so that would mean only about 3.5% of people that are in the United States are actually millionaires. So why is it so hard to become a millionaire? Well, it starts with our parents. That's right. Your mom wants you to be poor. Sorry, Mom. Actually, she wants you to be safe. Most of us are groomed from birth to make decisions that are deemed safe, that will keep us from experiencing any kind of distress ever. The idea that you need to get a job, you need to go to college, you need to have a career and work your way up the corporate ladder. These are all safe decisions. If you get a safe job that pays you a predictable wage, then you can do things like buy a car, buy a house, plan around that, budget around the money you know that's gonna come in. You could be a real adult. You could have all the things that we tell each other are important in life. This mentality is called keeping up with the Joneses, and what it means is that you're trying to achieve what society has portrayed as success. Nice house, nice car, nice clothes, lots of debt. Guys, if you're new to the channel, my name is Travis Davis, and I've made millions of dollars investing in startups, small businesses, real estate, and the stock market. And I made this channel to inspire you to make an investment or start a business. If you already have a business, drop the name of your business and the city you're in the comments below, and I'm gonna randomly pick somebody to go leave a 5-star review for your company. I recently left a 5-star review for Hunks Hauling Junk in San Antonio, and you could be next. If you like this content, please consider subscribing to the channel or sharing it with a friend. The average household debt in the United States of America is about $60,000, and most of this is credit cards and cars. With interest rates on credit cards as high as 18%, you can get caught in a cycle where you are paying on this credit card forever and you never actually pay it off, or it takes you a very, very long time to pay it off. If you had $10,000 of credit card debt at 18% interest and you paid $250 a month, it would take you 5 years to pay off that credit card debt if you paid the whole $250 every month, and you would pay an additional $5,000 in interest charges before you ever got it paid off. If you couldn't make the whole $250 a month, the timeline and the amount of extra interest you paid would rise substantially. We live in a finance everything world. People are financing vehicles 7 years now because the price of a vehicle is going up faster than wages are increasing. So a person where they used to be able to pay off a vehicle in 5 years, they just simply can't afford to do that anymore. People finance things like vacations and experiences now. All of this is called the rat race, and it's what kills people's finances. By creating the illusion that success is nice cars, nice clothes, things that you can finance forever, people make bad decisions to get these things so that they can feel like they're successful. This keeps them from achieving real financial success, which is having a plan that you're not dependent on your job, not wondering where your next meal's gonna come from, knowing that if you get separated from your job, that you have money or investments that you can fall back on that will carry you until you find a new job or a new source of income. The freedom to be able to retire on your terms when you want. So a lot of what financial freedom is making sacrifices and having a plan today so that you can reap those rewards later. Don't let the things that you think you need keep you from true success. Don't get caught in the rat race. Instead of buying that new car that you finance, would you buy an older used car and drive it for 10 years so that you can take the difference and invest that into things that you understand, and at the end of the 10-year period sleep better at night knowing that your money is in investments that are going to generate and make more money? If you make $40,000 a year but live off of $30,000 a year and invest that $10,000 into the S&P 500, at the end of 10 years, you would have an estimated $200,000. With that $200,000, you could go start a business, or you could simply just Keep putting money into the S&P 500 and keep compounding over time and just grow that stockpile of money. If you spent that same $10,000 a year on immaterial things, at the end of the 10 years, you're not gonna have anything. Compounding is the greatest thing man has ever invented. It's why the rich get rich, stay rich, and grow their wealth over time. When you picture a rich person, do you picture somebody living an extravagant lifestyle? Because the smart rich people, they don't live like that at all. They live below their means and they invest the difference into things that are gonna make them more money. This is the same reason why if you give a rich person $1 million, they're gonna turn it into more money. But if you give somebody that is not financially educated $1 million, they're most likely gonna go broke. If you do a quick Google search on compound interest calculator, you're gonna find several options to help you make a plan, experiment with compounding, and really get a better understanding of how it can impact you. If you started when you were 20 years old by putting $1,000 into the S&P 500, and then every month you added $300, by the time you were ready to retire, you would have about $1 million. And this example isn't even very aggressive. That's assuming you just worked a job for the rest of your life. Imagine if you had a side hustle or you started a business. You could put much more towards your plan and compound it even more. When you compound, your money makes more money. Then that money makes more money. And this keeps going as long as you just leave the money in there and let it compound. If you take somebody that makes $1 million a year and they spend $1 million a year, over time, they're gonna have a net zero gain. But if you take somebody that makes $1 million a year and they live off of $300,000 a year, and then they invest the $700,000 a year, their wealth is going to increase quickly. It's the same principles when you're trying to make your first million. Live below your means and invest the difference in things that you understand. But what happens is over time, the compounding becomes exponential. A guy like me who has a lot of assets compounding is gonna grow at a much higher rate today than when I was 20, 25 years old. But back then, I was doing the exact same things that I'm doing now. I started by buying rental properties when I was young. I would save up about $5,000 for a down payment, and every Sunday I would check the newspaper and I looked for owner finance deals because I didn't have any credit. When I found one, I would put the $5,000 down. I could put a renter in the house. The renter would pay the payment and I would get a house basically for $5,000. Over time, the rents coming in helped me save the $5,000 faster and my plan accelerated. Before I knew it, I had a handful of rental houses. Later, I got tired of having rental properties and I sold them all. I was really amazed at how much they had gone up in value in just a few years while I've owned them. On one property, I made as much as $50,000, which for me at the time was about 2 years' salary. And when I made the $50,000 on that house, I didn't go buy like a nice car or something. I looked for more investments to put that money into so it would compound even further. To simplify things, the secret to being rich is kind of easy. Rich people buy things that will make them more money. And when they make more money, they buy more things that will make them more money. So if you want to make your first million, start by getting your own financial house in order. Live below your means. Try to pay off your debts. If you have a car that has an expensive payment, maybe sell it and get a cheaper car so that you have more money to invest into things that you understand, and you can start the compounding process as early as possible. Forget get-rich-quick schemes and focus on building long-term wealth that's safe, secure, and boring. Guys, if you like these videos, I'm gonna put another one up right here. I appreciate everybody watching, and I'll see you soon in the next one.